Oh.
What was that?
Please tell me you're recording that.
Yeah. I absolutely was.
Does that mean we're live?
It does. What up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of GameSpot After Dark. We're back. We're live again. We were not live for a long time, and now we're live. How
Does it
wild.
feels different?
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy how sometimes you can be not live, but then you can be live.
I feel alive.
Wild.
Yeah.
You know?
Live alive.
We've got a new studio,
Live?
so we're... Can you be quiet?
No.
Crosstalk. We've got a new studio now, so we're making the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joined as always by Lucy James.
Hi. Oh, now I'm allowed to talk.
Yep.
Wow.
Speak when spoken to.
You're gonna get cancelled, man.
Hell.
Oh my
God damn.
Wow, record
Man, we
timing.
was live for 2 minutes.
We got
45
cancelled in
seconds
10 seconds. Yeah.
That's
Also joined by Michael P. Haim, the P stands for Pino.
you. Hey, what it do, baby?
And we also joined by Max Blumenthal,
Hey.
aka Rin Harasaki.
What's up?
What up?
Is that my name right? Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Who are you?
Max is,
No, you.
then...
Oh.
You didn't intro yourself, Tam.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Oh,
Yeah, no, yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
people don't need to know who I am.
I was like,
I'm the host, Timur Hussain. Max is joining us. Is this your first time on the podcast?
Yes, it is.
Max is joining us for the first time on this podcast because, one, he works at GameSpot. Two, he is probably the biggest expert, definitely on our team for Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. But I would say probably in the business.
I would say.
Easily in the
I would
business.
say we're throwing the gauntlet down. There's no one in the video game journalism industry that is as good at Zelda as Max.
That's fact.
I'd bet on that. I would bet good money on that.
I already know that's true.
Who would even...
Who wants it?
Come
Let
out,
us
come
know.
out, come out, my boy.
Come at Mark.
So
Come
no,
at us.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
In the journalism industry,
I agree.
sure.
I agree.
Yeah, in the journalism.
Yeah, maybe after launch and all the other people play, maybe not.
People in this world can't do jumps in Cuphead.
Yeah. I mean, I think folks may know about the running doc of.
That's not true, Max
That's not true. Max
is
is
on
on.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
We-
Jean-Luc, find out
in-
what episode that is.
We got live. What is it? Twitter fucking
Corrections.
Please expose me, 'cause I don't remember it all.
There's a running Google document for Breath of the Wild that Max manages. Am I allowed to say that publicly? That's open source, right?
Yeah, it's open
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you using the same one for Tears of the Kingdom?
No, different one.
Okay, because I've seen the Tears of the Kingdom one. I was like, how is this long already?
Yeah.
Like the game's, this was like pre-released.
If
as
you've
well.
looked up some exploits, glitches, whatever for
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, Max probably found that
Somehow.
straight up.
Yeah,
Yep.
Max and his community of little Zelda weirdos.
We're big Max. We're big fans of Max Blumenthal over
But
here.
yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about Tears of the Kingdom with our expert, and then after we're done, we're going to kick him out because he's outlived his usefulness at that point.
Get him out of here.
I've only got a one-track mind for Zelda, unfortunately.
Typecasted.
So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom reviews went up.
Sounds like it's a good game.
Sounds like it's a
Sounds
good
like
game.
it's a good
Yeah,
game.
10 out of 10. GameSpot.com.
Yep.
Doesn't mean it's perfect. Just means it's essential. You got to play that game. You can read at length and watch the video review on YouTube,
Great job
written
by
by
Jean-Luc on the
Steve
edit.
and Jean-Luc on the edit.
Steve
And
Watts.
Steve Watts.
Steve
yeah.
Watts,
Steve
yeah,
Watts.
who put in a hell of a shift completing
Yeah,
that game.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, but
Man's got a family.
Yeah, for real.
babies.
Man, those last two paragraphs of that review,
It's beautiful, right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
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 It's amazing. So, you've
not
also
edit it?
played a little bit too, right?
I played a bunch of it. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of it. I've been playing it. I definitely have been playing it different from you. I'm definitely
That's
playing it
okay.
different from
Yeah,
Steve
no, that's
because
totally
like
okay.
I've been trying to play it slower
Yeah.
and not try and get through as much as possible. I've got a good grasp of the mechanics, but also like it's wild because I messaged you and I was like, what the hell is this all about? And you're like, I don't know what that is. Like, and it was like near the beginning of the game. So like, it's very open in that you can just go and do whatever you want and miss important things. Like it took me I was maybe 10 hours into the game before I realized I didn't have the camera function in the Purapad or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's
do
a
you mean?
basic thing. Like you have to unlock that via a quest chain.
Oh.
And eventually someone was like, you need to take a picture of this. And I was like, what? How do I
What?
do that? Yeah. And like, I'd done like loads of missions and quests and adventuring by that point. So it's kind of very open.
Wait, do you still have the Sheikah's light?
Yeah, it's called a Purapad. Is
Yeah, Purapad.
Purapad now. It's different.
Kind of a weird name, but
Like
it doesn't hit the same. No.
Yeah, and it don't hit the same.
Yeah.
They can't use the Sheikah thing now, can they? Because after the last game, I guess.
I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like 60 hours into the game already, and I've just started to almost 100% unlock the entire map. Like as for map towers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's just how massive this freaking game is. It's insane.
How many hours do you think you've put in Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
5,000 probably.
Yeah. I think you put in more time in Breath of the Wild than I have in Final Fantasy 14.
I don't think I put 5,000 hours into anything.
Yeah, because the first time I had my Switch, I think I had about 1,200 hours, and then it got stolen.
No.
Oh, I hate to see it.
Homeboy Julio and the social team back then helped me.
They stole
get
it? Wow.
No, not that. No,
Julio's like, I'm leaving
Switch.
that stealing.
Yeah, they got me a new Switch. So.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, so after that, I tracked my hours. It's about 4,100 right now.
Yeah. So first, overall, do you like it? What do you think about it?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've never played a game like this before. I think I was talking to other people about it too, where like the abilities are so new and specific that like they built the world in a specific way because of the ascend and the time reversal and all that. So I've never played a game like it. There's really nothing you can really explain about it. You just have to try it yourself. And like, tomorrow everybody will be playing it. But
Does it unlock at 9 p.m. tonight? This is
It should be
Thursday.
for West Coast, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
unless you're on Australia time, then you'll
Wait,
be up in like
My
3
Switch
hours or
is set to
something.
UK. Does it unlock?
Are you allowed to do that? Or are you allowed to say
I
that?
don't know if that works.
Well, I mean, if I buy the game on my UK Switch,
Yeah.
which is still set to a UK time.
That is harder than you might think.
Yeah.
Yeah, got the show on lock.
So
Do you find it overwhelming?
yeah, that's
Playing the
what-
game?
No, yeah, like just opening it up. I mean, how overwhelming is it with new powers and all the new stuff you can do?
I got pretty used to it pretty quick. I can definitely see it being pretty bad for other people though, like casual
Yeah.
players. I'm definitely like, whenever I like do any of my videos for GameSpot, I try to put myself in the shoes of casual players because like some of the stuff I'm trying to explain is like just goes way over people's heads.
Yeah.
So like thinking about that and playing this game first, I'm like, some of these abilities are like kind of mind-boggling and like really confuse the crap out of some new players.
Yeah.
It's
So-
easy to like. I think the thing that I kept finding was you train yourself to play games in a certain way, and then Breath of the Wild in a certain way. So like it takes me. I still do it. I forget that Ascend exists.
Yeah.
And I'm like climbing, doing this like painful climbing process, and I'm like, I could have just hit 2 buttons and been all the way up here. I just spent 10 minutes doing this, and the amount of times that keeps happening, it's wild because like you keep remembering that you've got these abilities in scenarios where you're like, how am I going to do this? And you try and do it in a way that is manual, and eventually you realize, oh, I've got a power where I can reverse time on this specific object, and it just like blows your mind in that it's just very open.
Yeah, I think the difference between playing before and after launch, because we had the experience of playing before launch, is that we don't have social media to bounce off of, and there's going to be some crazy stuff on social media within the next week or so that we're going to be like, wow, that's possible. So like ways to get up a cliff would be definitely something that we could find.
Yeah, for sure.
Ralph was telling me about a clip he saw where someone made some kind of like giant statue.
Dong? A dong?
And then there was a dong, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
there
yeah.
was,
There's a who?
Yeah, I've seen gifs
there
of
was like
peepees.
a flamethrower dong.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that one
an
too.
actual
I've
like.
seen some,
Yeah.
Everyone's
So-
making peepees.
That's a
what they
penis.
do, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So the other thing, dungeons.
Yeah.
That was the big thing from the last one that a lot of people were missing.
Yep.
What are they like now? Are they traditional? Are they somewhere in between?
There's somewhere in between. So, like if you're thinking of like Ocarina of Time or something like that, it's more or less like an enclosed space. I think, well, I don't know if this is semi-spoiler territory. Like one of them's more enclosed, and the other ones are like more like open outside. There's no like specific walls to like keep it in. It's just part of the world, which is kind of interesting. It's not like a separated off area. So
Yeah.
but people be very happy about that because that's like a legacy thing in Zelda, and like Breath of the Wild had those like divine beasts, which is like they were cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
Very
wasn't the same. The colors were really boring too.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And also like the dungeons, we have these kind of dungeons, but it's not a Zelda dungeon in that it's not built around unlocking a new item or ability or that
Right.
kind of stuff. You're just completing a dungeon. And similarly, it means that, like Steve mentions this in his review, but as you go further, it's not like it stacks abilities to try and test you. They're very just like open. You'll have the tools to do it regardless
Right.
when you do it. The other thing is like what what is in Breath of the Wild that were like you were like, I wish they had done this, that they have now done? Like, have they like fixed anything that you're like, oh damn, I wish it was like
man, I remember there's like a list I had in my head of like those kind of things, and I just totally forgot them. So I'm gonna have to like recap as I talk here. One of them, well, I guess glitch is not really part of that. God, I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, because even like I see, I'm not super high level in combat or anything like that, but I can already see like crazy applications of the abilities that you have. And my thought was like, is this breaking it more, or have they managed to somehow like put these even weirder abilities while also like patching up the things that were kind of wild about the original?
Yes. So I can confirm a lot of stuff has been patched. I'm actually kind of theorizing in my head on how Nintendo approached this, because they must have been watching us. Like 100%, because there's like really niche stuff that I was like, wait, no, this definitely worked in Breath of the
Nintendo
Wild.
always watching.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like interested in what their response is. We'll never hear it, obviously, but I'm just interested in what they thought about that. But there's definitely been stuff that's patched 100% for sure.
Yeah. Nintendo's gathering around the computer like, hey, GameSpot just dropped the new 11 things you didn't know about Breath of the Wild.
Kill it right now.
Like, oh shit, yo, it's Max again. Miyamoto's got his arms
Patch
folded.
everything out.
Anuma's just furious.
Max motherfucker.
How do you, people are in the chat have asked, Jacob McCoy especially says, if people haven't played Breath of the Wild, is Tears of the Kingdom a good starting point, or should they play Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild first, in my opinion. I guess like the Tears of the Kingdom is like an evolution, 100%. It's not the same vibe as Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was like a very calm, relaxing, open air game.
Yeah.
Lots of exploring and like just taking in like the views and like the world. Tears of the Kingdom already just has that set up and just piles a whole bunch of shit on it.
Yeah.
So I don't. You can play Tears of the Kingdom first. You'll be a little bit confused on the story.
Yeah.
But I still recommend doing Breath of the Wild first. At least a little bit. You don't have to beat the game, but just like understand like the base world.
Yeah, it kind of trains you on the basics of how the world works and how you kind of move around it, and also like the flow of gameplay in a much safer or like a more approachable environment.
Yeah.
Because Tears of the Kingdom, it jumps straight in. Like it does not mess around. There's actually quite a lengthy like setup sequence at the beginning with the story stuff. But then once you're there, it's like, it's very different from the Great Plateau, where it's like you very slowly get to grasps with moving around and, you know, floating using your glider and then figuring out towers. This feels like it has an equivalent, like almost like a training quest, which is the first one, which is like go to all these points. But because of the way the world is set up, where it's like broken pieces and it's like very like layered in that way, it's way harder to just do that quest. Because it took me a while, because I was like, how do I even get up there?
Yeah.
And you have to like start thinking in like 3 dimensions, almost. Like you have to think about, oh, I can jump down there, float down there. There was one point where I was like trying to get on a piece of floating like land, and I was like pushing the stick up to try and get him like to move the centimeter as he's falling, stuff like that. But I think you're right in that Breath of the Wild feels like a better starting point. For people who like want to play the game, how important or how critical is the kind of fusing and building stuff? 'Cause some people like it doesn't work for them. Like their brains can't work in that way, and it's like I don't know how to solve this thing. Is there options for them?
Yeah, I think almost maybe not. A lot of the game really forces that stuff. I think that they made it lenient enough so that you can like make really basic stuff and still be okay to like complete the things, but like the crazier the better, honestly. That's what they're really pushing for. Like they really want you to use all the tools. So
one of the things, like when I watch Tears of the Kingdom gameplay, one of the things I don't know if I have the patience to build in the intricate ways that I think the game allows you to, and that's one of the great things about the game. I think it's like you can be as creative as you want with it. But I look at that and I'm like, damn, man, I don't know if I got the...
Yeah.
So how have y'all found the threshold in which like something like I can just put together this piece of shit raft and it'll be good enough to get where I want to go?
You can do the basics. I think like as a kind of prospect, the moment to moment can be quite exhausting, or like not frustrating, but like there's certain kinds of people who... Lucy, I hate to single you out, but...
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
First I'm being silenced, and then I'm being singled
The reason I
out.
say it is because I'm the same, where I think I'm like so we are very similar in that there needs, when I play something or do something, I want to feel a sense of like forward momentum, completion.
Typically a story.
Yeah, a story and something like that. And this is a game where like basic kind of progression is gated behind like puzzles that require a lot of time, attention, and almost like creative thinking.
Yeah.
It's like in the most games, you'll be like, oh, here's a massive gap. They'll be like, oh, just jump, or like,
oh, I can't get there until
with this it's like I need to find these pieces, you know, put it together and then get across this thing, and it's like that isn't the main quest. That is just you trying to get to the main quest.
Right.
So people like us, like I definitely went into it at times when I was like playing it where I wasn't in the right mindset or the frame of mind, and I got a little bit frustrated because I was trying to make progress in the game and they're kind of like forcing my way forward, but the game is built for you to almost like force you to play slower.
They're like, hey, big man, relax.
Yeah, they're like, chill first, don't worry about this. It's that same kind of, I think that like for you and for me to a degree as well, like there's a high chance of bouncing off.
Okay.
It's the kind of like where it's like, you have to work for the fun or...
Yeah, but I want to be involved in the conversation.
Yeah. I mean,
Just got to put in the work then.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the process is the fun. And it also doesn't make a song and dance about what you get out of it. Like when you finish something, it's not like, wow, you've got this amazing new thing. Here it is. It's just like, all right, good.
Yep.
Wait, are there Korok seeds again?
Yes.
Yeah, there's like
Does
1,000
the guy do
of
the
them.
little
Yeah, it's the same.
Well,
it's the
that's
same
all I
thing.
need. All
But
I
I mean,
need
like,
is the
you collect 10 of them, then you're like, okay, this is the same. And like, what did they give us last time? Golden poo or something like
It's
that?
always golden poo.
Yeah.
Golden what?
a golden poop.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Dan Reichert the first person to get them all?
I don't know.
I want to say he was one of the first
Sounds
people
like
at
that.
pre-release.
Yeah, that sounds like a Dan
That's
Reichert
crazy.
thing. Yeah.
Please correct me.
Grow
if I'm
up.
wrong in chat.
Even I didn't get them all. So
What?
that's saying something.
In 5,000 hours?
Yeah.
Didn't even
I
bother.
started and I was like, this is
No,
not
I
worth
mean,
it.
that's too much.
It is definitely not worth it.
Actually, talking about Coral, you can strap a rocket onto them now and launch
really?
them off.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they're just little babies.
Plenty you can do
though.
in this game.
Aw.
So if you have a vendetta against them from the last game.
How much are y'all allowed to talk about story content? If at all.
Even if I was allowed to, I would not want to
yeah.
talk about
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
I
You
think
you
that's
would want to
Sure.
play it yourself.
Yeah, I think one of the most attractive part of it, and it's the catch-22 for people like Lucy and me, where it's like, I mean, I was going to play it anyway, but like now more than ever, the actual story is important.
Yes.
Like, because obviously, I'm not going to say what, but you learn, like, they need to, I would say, revise Hyrule Historia after this.
Yes.
Like, because there's some like wild stuff in there that Zelda fans are getting insight into that's fascinating. Like, and I've been playing Zelda for years, and I was like, it's been a long time since I've been interested in the story of Zelda, like the intricacies of relationships and how we got to here and there and that kind of stuff. So that's the tricky part of it, because it's such a good story and it's such a good, like, filled with good characters. And like Zelda as a character is both more present but also not as present, if you know, there's like a weird thing happening in that game with that character. And it's just like fascinating to see where it's like the actual format and the structure of the story is really interesting in a way I haven't seen Nintendo do before. Like it's Nintendo are known for telling stories in a very simple way or not at all. This is a kind of complicated story that's got like depth and emotional resonance told in a unexpected way where it's layered and fractured and you have to put the pieces together, and it's really interesting to see, but you have to go through the difficult gameplay stuff to get to that, which is kind of wild.
It's non-sequential like Breath of the Wild, because anybody can be doing it in any order. So,
Yeah, exactly. Performance issues. How's your experience been?
So I did duplicate Steve Watt's situation with Kakariko Village.
Yeah.
It was raining and it was lagging a bit. Building at all, like fusing stuff together and like making a machine and then just like putting it out into the world. Like if it fights an enemy, that thing, the frame rate's going to drop to like 10. Sometimes it gets really bad.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate because I was really looking forward to that stuff, and I was like, oh, I got this really cool contraption. I like, set it out to go attack a base, and it was like 15 FPS for like a second. I'm like, oh,
you hate to see it.
Yeah.
So
and you're playing on the OLED Switch. I have
I'm playing on OLED, yeah.
I have a day one regular Switch.
Oh no.
So I don't. Yeah, I mean Nintendo. You have to pretty much play on an OLED. I would say.
Yeah. I mean, this is like also post patch too, which is like supposedly is performance boost, but I haven't seen any difference. It's just unfortunate because, you know, Breath of the Wild had the same problems, and it seems to kind of persist here. It's just like the more stuff that is happening, it's not like the more stuff, but it's also like what it's doing too. So if it's multiple turrets looking for things, or if it's multiple like fire effects happening, like those things really add up for sure for performance. I
think like that is definitely true, and I've had some of that myself. But I never felt like it was ruining the experience for me. Yeah. Like it always feels very playable. There are just, it's kind of like you know when you're building something, as you're building it, you're like, I'm about to screw these frames because that is, you can tell like this is getting elaborate, it's crazy, and something like the Switch is probably gonna have struggles with handling it, and that's exactly what happens. And like I'm not building crazy contraptions, but if you are that kind of person, you should probably factor in the fact that it's going to be wild. And there's not, I think it's similar on docked as well as handheld.
Supposedly it's better on handheld because it's lower resolution. But it's either way, it's pretty bad. I mean, Switch is so old by now.
6 years, man.
That's crazy.
Lifetime.
But yeah, it's a fantastic game, and I feel like you can already tell that it's very open-ended to the point where, in the same way that Breath of the Wild was, like, we're going to be finding stuff like for years, or you're going to be finding stuff for years.
100%,
yeah. So
Max, how many things do you think you don't know?
Thousands.
Y'all better get ready for some content, bro.
Dude, well, my doc already for like the things I found is already like 80 things long, and that's and that's just small, tiny things. So there's gonna be plenty more.
Yay!
So make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/GameSpot to see all of that stuff. Max is gonna be there. You're a full-time Zelda content creator for us, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This whole set, unfortunately.
Zeltuber, one of those.
Zeltuber. But yeah, Max, thank you for joining us. We'll free you. I know you're very busy. You got Zelda stuff to do right now.
Go back to editing.
Thanks, Max.
We'll get Jean-Luc back in here.
Yeah, we'll get Jean-Luc back in here.
Peace out, Max.
Peace, Max.
Go give Max a follow on Twitter.
Yeah. What is your Twitter?
Rin Harasaki.
Spell it.
In the mic.
5AKI.
I tagged him in my
He's a real gamer. He's a real gamer.
Y'all be able to find him.
Yeah, you can find him. While we're waiting for Jean-Luc to sub in, what's your takes on it? Are you going to play it?
You know I'm gonna play it.
It's I don't know if I'm gonna play it like right now because there's still games that I need to play that I want to finish even on Switch, and I don't want this to be one of those games where I put in maybe like 10 hours and then put it down for a week and then come back to it and be like, damn, I don't know what the hell's going on, so I guess I'm never gonna get back to it because this happened so many times to me, and I'm gonna talk about a game that I kind of did that to a little later on, but It's hard because like I do want to be part of the conversations that are happening right now, and that's exciting. That was like one of the most exciting things about Breath of the Wild. And I remember being in the office and watching Peter at his desk, like, oh shit, yo, you found something that I didn't know even existed in this game. And it was just that constant feedback of finding something someone else did and getting something from them. So I want to be in on that. I want to know what the conversations are, but that stuff takes time, man. Like this game is huge, and like y'all were saying. Some of that stuff is like you could probably sit down and play for 5 hours and like really get into the weeds of the mechanics of this game and exploring that world, and then not necessarily get to like the quest that you're looking for. Maybe you don't feel like you've made progress, and like that's dope. And I think it's a unique approach to games and progress, but again, that requires patience.
Yeah. What about you, Lucy?
I'm going to play it. I'm going to my friend's house at the weekend, and we're going to do a pajama party, and we're going to play.
Wow. Oh, that's cute.
They're just cute. No, I want to play, just to be, part of the conversation, part of, if I don't play it now, as soon as June rolls around and Diablo and Final Fantasy comes around, that's my... Yeah. I will drop it and I'll move on. And if I don't play it now, I probably won't revisit it because you got like Baldur's Gate and stuff too. So
damn.
Oh, it's gonna be
Jean-Luc?
busier.
Hello, hi. By the way,
welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Jean-Luc Sapke's here.
Hi.
Have you heard of Tears of the Kingdom?
What's that?
Damn, man. You should listen to GameSpot After Dark.
Of course, edited the video review. Check it out on youtube.com/GameSpot. Having seen so much of it now, are you excited to play it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've been like counting down. I ordered a physical copy because I bought all the Zelda games on Switch physically, so it'll arrive tomorrow. And then I was like, oh, but it comes out tonight digitally at 9. what if I buy it again? So when I'm thinking, but I've actually come up with a good workaround because Georgia was like, oh, I kind of want to play it this time because she's also going to that. She is also going to that slumber party. So I was like, okay, well, I could buy it digitally tonight, and I could just let her use my physical tomorrow. So like that's my little workaround I came up with, so I don't feel too bad about buying the game twice. Yeah, I'm extremely excited. I'm also someone who never beat Breath of the Wild.
Same.
And I've always meant to go back to it, and. So I'm not gonna have that issue that you guys were talking about where like because I know how that game plays, but I am there is a part of me that still does want to eventually go back to playing Breath of the Wild, and I'm so curious how that will feel like if it'll play it and I'll be like, oh, I can't do this or I can't build that, like is the game gonna feel like obsolete? But I don't know if it will.
I
don't
think so,
Yeah, because I think the vibe of that game at least feels
the vibe
so
is different, and also like the tools you have at your disposal are very different, which means the puzzles are built very differently. But yeah, I think they're very complementary to each other, and Tears of the Kingdom is definitely built upon the foundations of it. When you're running around Hyrule again, you'll be like, I remember this.
Right.
But it does have that new dimension where you go into the sky and there's like stuff up there you can do a bit of. But they feel like two very different of similarly kind of connected games, and the world is like super weird as well. Like the stuff has happened where it's like fractured the world, and there's like a weird substance that is everywhere corrupting things, and it does have its own like unique new spin on that same world. So I think they're complementary to each other. Yeah, which is good.
So, did you feel like you got to a point where you can pick it back up and be like, oh, I'm just gonna go fight Ganon now and finish the game?
I didn't actually finish all of the Divine Beasts, but I guess technically you could just go and fight Ganon whenever you want, right? So like I probably could go and finish Ganon. I think there were like a couple spots on the map that I never explored that I would kind of like to go back and do, but I guess I'll experience them in Tears, so it'll be kind of interesting to see it in like reverse almost.
Because like the end, I mean, you get far along enough. The end is pretty easy, I would say.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
Ganon's not that hard. It's like exciting, and it's like a really great spectacle. But in terms of difficulty, like you're not going to have to bang your head against the wall.
It's actually more of a challenge if you don't do all the Divine Beasts, right? Isn't that the whole thing? Yeah, which is kind of cool. Also, I don't think he mentioned it, but I did ask Max, is it possible to go and beat Tears of the Kingdom at the very beginning?
Anuma said today. There was an article I think on IGN where it was like you can do that, but don't.
Well, Max specifically said. Well, Max said you can, but he said it is extremely difficult. He was like, I don't think I can do it.
Wow.
Like, if Max can't do it, none of y'all can do it.
I'm sure someone will. Yeah. Like within a day.
Someone will do it
like 5 hours.
With a dance mat or something like
that. Someone's already done it by the time this podcast is finished.
Or with a bloody, Joy-Con with drift. You know.
Yeah. But it sounds like it's a harder challenge, which is cool. I think that's neat.
Yeah. I mean, you do that once you've mastered every other aspect of the game, I guess. Right? Yeah. It's the biggest game one of the biggest games of the year so far. So I think and it's also a game where it's going to be in conversations for a really long time. Yeah. Definitely at the end of the year. So
yeah, it's not going away at all.
Yeah, it's not going away. And like a lot of people are like, I wish I could play this now. I think like if you waited, you'd still be part of a conversation. It might not be like the one that's happening now. But this game is so like big and complex that something will be going on around this game for years to come.
You could go back and play Breath of the Wild right now and still have like a great time. Like,
That's Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. You'll probably hear about it a lot more going forward. But we've got the review up on GameSpot.com and also on YouTube. Please go check it out. 10 out of 10.
10.
Which means essential.
10 of them things.
On the GameSpot scale.
Yeah. Steve Watts.
A banger.
Yeah.
A banger. Jean-Luc, what else have you been doing?
Oh, that's a good question. What have I been doing?
Building this studio. You know what it is.
Sure, I've been building the studio, testing it out, getting it all working. I just keep watching anime, but I feel like I don't know.
Anime corner.
I finished your boy Kong Ming, which was just delightful and wholesome, very good. Yeah. I first off, I want to point out how like incredible of a localization for the name is, because I think like the original Japanese basically translates to like party person Kong Ming, like he's like a party animal, but like changing it to ya boy Kong Ming, like it absolutely evokes
it captures the vibe.
It captures the vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, perfectly. yeah. I don't know. That's just a wholesome anime I recommend. You have to get High Dive though. That's like the whole
the
thing.
problem.
High
not
Dive.
doing it.
Dude, there are so many good anime.
High Dive.
That you have to get High Dive. for.
Listen, I can't. We talk all kinds of shit about the Crunchyroll app. At least I can screen mirror and use AirPlay to my smart TV. First world problems for sure. I know what it is. But High Dive, at least please let me AirPlay to my TV, dog. I pay for your subscription.
Who's behind that?
High Dive?
Yeah,
I
like,
have
is it?
I don't
is
know.
it
No
just-
idea.
No idea.
Please.
It must be owned by some big company.
Yeah.
Because like, how are you getting
We out
get
here.
good
that.
anime?
They do-
Are they in the Bay Area?
Are they a block over like
Yeah.
Crunchyroll are?
What?
High Dive bar.
I'll give High
Fix
Dive.
all that.
I'll give High Dive one credit, which is that they do let you simultaneously use the same account at the same time with two.
Hey,
on two
Shay,
things.
whoa, relax.
No.
relax.
They say it.
Oh,
on the
okay,
thing.
okay.
Like that. Like
That's
they
the thing. Yeah.
like they say like, hey, you can use it twice. Where like I think like Hulu kicks you out. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Crunchyroll doesn't. allow
Netflix
you
is
to
very
do
uptight
that.
about that shit.
Exactly.
Netflix lets you, depending
So-
on which tier you have, because all of my family are on my Netflix, and so I know that it does
Which
at least
tier you
4.
have? Yeah. That's
Well,
good.
no, it's the reason that my Netflix anime Avatar is the boss baby, because I'm the youngest in the family, and yet I pay
It's
for
your account.
everyone's
nice.
bloody Netflix.
Yeah. It's cheaper in the US. When you convert it to
No.
pounds, it's more expensive if they paid for it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, hate to see it.
Well, there's also like so many different tiers of it at this point. Like
Yeah, I have the
Tears of the
I-
Netflix.
tiers of the Netflix.
I have the 4K one because that has the different profiles. And whatever.
yeah.
Damn.
Uh,
Well, anyway.
But I've
High Dive.
already told them as soon as the password sharing stuff goes into effect,
Ah,
you're out on your
yeah,
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a grip, Uncle Ken.
Build your own piles.
What?
That's a Succession reference. Remember, he tells them to build their own piles of money.
Oh,
Boo.
but that's from like season 2,
Season 3, actually.
season 3.
Whoa, dude.
I'm saying this because I've watched 2 seasons in 2 days.
Of Succession?
Of Succession.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of.
It's
That's
crazy.
a lot of Succession, bro.
I've been like working and watching at the same time because
Oof.
my brain is on overdrive currently.
Couldn't
so
be me.
It's like wild. High Dive is an independent anime streaming company based out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Came into
hey.
being in 2017. In
The
short
Cowboys
amount
are
of
giving
time-
us the good anime.
Yeah.
There's-
In this short amount of time, we've acquired the rights to over 500 series, movies, and overs.
All right.
Ovas.
I call them overs.
I hope the check
OVAs.
cleared, Tam.
OVAs. And gives you a price that won't make your wallet.
All right.
Okay, interesting.
It is quite cheap. Was it like $5?
It's
a
like
month?
$5 a month.
Yeah, and it looks like
Okay.
they've got a lot of series here that are good.
That's
but
the thing.
yes,
They have
they do.
really good stuff.
the app is just ass.
Yes.
I mean, like if you want to kick it on the same level as one of these other streaming services, you can't have the user experience be shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it looks
I
like
mean,
you've got
grow
all the
up.
pieces in place.
Grow up.
Yeah, grow
I mean,
up.
we say that, but like even like the most high-profile streaming services.
Funimation is straight booty still. Like,
Yeah.
you-
Well, they stopped supporting it, I think,
Yeah.
now because
Why?
technically
Yeah.
it's just all Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
They just-
Even
why do they
Crunchyroll
make-
sucks, man.
It
They
does,
make
yeah.
anime so hard to
Yeah.
get. Please,
Yeah.
just give me. I want it. Just give it to me, please.
I pay you, just don't.
Yeah, but anyway.
Someone said High Dive is Discovery. I think I don't know if Discovery.
Ooh,
Is it
I'm gonna have to
launched?
cancel that subscription
High
then.
Dive Discovery.
Yeah, why is that
It doesn't-
on
it doesn't
Max?
mention
Well, they say
Discovery.
they're an independent streaming
Yeah,
company.
Yeah, they say
Yeah.
independent. So
Are they lying, or is someone
Who said that
lying
in
in
the
the
chat?
chat
I'm
line?
gonna ban Seraphis Kane, you're on notice.
Wow.
Wow.
If you spread more fake news, I'm gonna ban you.
But yeah, High Dive has like I haven't caught up on Oshinoko yet, but
Very
that's,
good
That's
still.
definitely one of them. And like John Luke has told me about Akiba Maid War so many times. At this point,
Please
I'm-
watch it.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I haven't spent the time to watch it. But
I know
yeah.
you'll love it.
Yeah. There's an anime I started Monster.
That is good.
I started Monster. Yo, that shit's
Yeah.
fucking
That's a
wild, though.
Kurt.
That's
Kurt
yeah. I
anime.
Is
texted
that
Kurt.
the one on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
It's on
now.
Netflix.
They-
Oh, yeah,
Apparently,
it's on Netflix,
not
yeah.
all of it's on
No,
Netflix.
no, I don't think so.
Is what
Oh,
Kurt
word?
was
That's
saying?
just like 57 episodes.
He said it wasn't all on Netflix.
How many episodes?
57?
Gonna add
Yeah.
it to my list.
They're like hella episodes. Like that shit is long as
Maybe they
long
added
as
the
hell.
rest finally. I don't know, but that's what Kurt was telling me
Yeah,
at the
Monster
time.
is really, really good. Apparently, it's High Dive is AMC.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
not
that
independent.
explains a lot.
Yeah, newest
fucking
addition to AMC's
lying.
network portfolio.
Liars,
Interesting.
independent, my ass.
Damn,
Wow.
AMC.
So what is it, Monster?
Dude, I need Nicole.
Monster.
Nicole Kidman. What's her name?
Oh yeah, that's Nicole Kidman.
I need her to. I need her to play at the front of every anime episode I watch
you
now.
Need you need an anime version of Nicole Kidman's
That's
We
fucking
come to
funny.
this
Yeah.
place.
Japan. Monster is really good. I remember back in the day when it first came out, it was like that and Death Note were the thing.
Yeah,
and they were like
dark shit
at the same time.
Yeah,
and it was like the dark era.
It has a lot of Death Note vibes, and maybe that's derivative, but I do get the same feeling.
It does have
Can you imagine if they had used Monster as the main theme?
Oh yeah.
That'd have been
Nicki Minaj's Monster?
Yes. Yeah, specifically just Nicki Minaj's verse.
Oh, I'm sure that's
whiplash.
I'm sure that's out there somewhere where someone has.
Someone's AMV.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll find that.
An AMV.
Let's see.
I will find that and I will add that to my AMV YouTube playlist I've been building.
Because that's what a motherfucking monster do. Oh my god, that's wild. But yeah, monsters crazy.
No, that's just random.
No, that's just random.
You can do
monsters.
it. That's all you.
Yeah, you've got an Adobe.
Put it on.
I'll make
Premiere.
it. Yeah.
Make it and put it on YouTube.
Okay.
.com/GameSpot.
So you know how we got a bunch of series, and like that's a thing for GameSpot. We have a bunch of great shows.
Let's start an AMV series.
A new series where he just makes AMVs and people get to watch.
That we can't monetize at all.
No, but
That's
we use open source music. Like
okay.
free music.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah. Linkin Park type beat.
Yeah. I would love.
If I got paid to do that, that'd be
Evanescence type beat. God damn. That'd be
there are old what was it called? Audio Network was our
we used Audio Network.
They had some wild stuff. I remember finding
the Star Wars one.
There's a Star Wars one. There was Space Monkey, obviously.
The classic.
The classic Giant Bomb Lockdown comes from.
Lockdown
one as well.
Yeah. You know, all of the Bake Off music comes from Audio Network.
Oh no way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kevin McLeod.
Kevin McLeod is the goat.
I could never find it again though, but I remember finding one that was just clearly like a ripoff of Poker Face.
Yeah.
And being like obsessed with it for a while.
Oh,
yes, on Audio Network.
There was the Eminem one too.
Yes, there was an Eminem one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, shoot me the link. I want to hear this.
Oh, what a play! What a
and then very briefly we had
Mother's Fettuccine.
We switched over to a different audio. We've like swapped like we're three now over. But the middle one we had, I forget what it was called.
No, we're Universal now. APM.
APM was the one we had. That was great because they had all the music from the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob.
You could use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I put it. I did. I put it in a video. I put some SpongeBob music in a video because I had to.
Incredible.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So
anyway, that was about it. I haven't started it yet, and I probably won't because Tears of the Kingdom. But I did buy on sale Wanted Dead.
Okay.
Because of Kurt's video.
To be fair, I've heard about it for a while, and I was like, yeah, it seems like a me type thing, you know, like me and Benjanka were the weirdo, like 6 out of 10 sickos.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
6-0s? No.
6-0s.
That's good. Yeah.
I fuck with that.
That's okay.
So I bought that, and I was like, all right, I got to check this out. I'll probably wait till after
Wanted Dead. This fool's playing Wanted Dead instead of Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Kurt talked about that on his video. Lovely
extremely good video.
And then the game went on sale the day later, or that
same day.
There's a wild amount of things that happened after Kurt. Should we talk about what there was?
The amount of things related to
some
that
of
video?
them are a bit spicy.
Sure.
We don't have to get spicy with it, but yeah, IGN's viral
like
7 out of 10.
This is 7 out of 10.
But that went up like a day or two before, but we didn't know because it didn't boil any piss until that day. And then it turned out that like that's the day that Kurt put up Chris put up the.
And then Eurogamer changed their review rubric. The game went on sale.
God,
all kinds of stuff.
Kurt doesn't know what kind of power he has. He has like the Death Note of games media.
He made a whole thread about the amount of times that's happened to him.
He's manifesting.
He made a video about why Nintendo should make another Wii Sports, and then like a month later they announced the Nintendo Switch Sports. He made a video about why Pikmin's great, and then they announced like Pikmin 4 like a couple weeks later.
Kurt, can you make a video about me and Tam getting our green cards?
Yeah, please. Like, that'd be great. Love that.
Or winning the lottery. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
Bloodborne PC, make a video. Hurry up.
Yes.
Bloodborne PC, please.
You should watch that video, everyone.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's on
really good.
Beautiful.
GameSpot. Kurt Locker, or as I call it.
Say it. Say it.
Oh, say it.
The Squirt Locker.
Squirt Locker.
Michael, what you been up to?
Squirt Lock. Damn.
No.
Squirt Locker, barely. I don't know.
Well, because he said it to us. We were like, oh, we're going to...
no, because we said we'd go to shoot spot
And
on.
he was like, G spot on.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, Squirt Locker.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't ready for it.
He's like, actually, that's kind of fire. Oh, yes. Squirt Locker is great. Spit On is great, too.
I could, my show, No HUD, or as I like to call it, No Head.
Oh, okay.
So what? No head?
Damn, all the sexual
Maidenless.
innuendo
Wow.
on our
We need to send all these back to the drawing board. Are these brands safe?
Chaim, what you been up to?
These are my confessions. I got a confession,
Yeah.
and I'm not proud of this. Actually, I'm going to probably disappoint half the people who follow me for weeb shit.
You never actually played Octopath Traveler 2. You made it
No, I have video evidence that I have actually played Octopath.
You've been
Green
lying this
screen.
whole time.
Finished it. It's green screen. Oh my god, I have finished Octopath Traveler 2.
Hold on.
What?
Sandwich Jones just says there's a Michael Hyman joke somewhere.
Oh, hey! I haven't heard that one before. Y'all motherfuckers. That's actually a pretty good one. I didn't get that a lot. I think the worst one that I mean, it has nothing to do with my name, but in elementary school, they call me Hunchback of Notre Dame because I had really bad posture. And I was like taller than everyone.
Oh.
So I have really bad posture. They call me that, and it kind of hurt my feelings. But you know, so,
Jeez.
fuck y'all. I jumped them and stole their Pokemon cards.
Good.
Sick.
So
They
yeah.
deserve it.
Oh, all right.
So my confession
Yeah.
is that, damn, I'm kind of nervous actually. I never finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I actually never finished the game. So as last year is my game of the year, and I also said that it is easily in my top 5 games of all time.
Having not finished it?
And I never finished it.
My man.
Because, well, here's the thing. There's a certain chapter in the game. It's like about, I would say 60, 70% of the way through that it's chapter 5. Everyone, if you played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you know what chapter 5 means. And I made it to that point because it feels like an apex of that story. It feels like there's a climax. Haha. There are a lot of things that get resolved after that chapter that feel like a breath of fresh air. Like something changes in that world,
Right.
and you kind of like, it's like a new beginning for the characters and for that story. And then so I put 75 hours into the game to get past chapter 5, and after that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a real quick breather. I'll get back to this because I want to like let this moment kind of rest. Let me think about it. Let it simmer in my brain because it was if you played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it's a very emotional. It's heavy. It feels like a very heavy moment in the game. It's a lot to process. So in that moment, I was like, okay, I'm gonna chill for a minute and then get back to the game. And I did the thing that you do sometimes is that you just never get back to it.
You're only human.
And I think part of me had like convinced myself that I did finish the game, and that was actually all there was to it. But there's so much more.
Wait, I was going to say chapter 5 of how many?
I think 7 and
Yeah.
7 and then a final chapter. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know because
People in the chat are calling you phony, a fraud.
it's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. Fuck y'all. I love y'all. But so I went back to it. And the thing, so here's the other part too, is that I've always wanted to go back to it because I love it very dearly. And there was a thing of being hesitant to get back to it because I don't want to be emotionally overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like when I hear the town music play again, when I hear those characters speak again, it's just a lot to me, and I love them. I miss them dearly, and they're right there. There's more to that game that I haven't even seen yet. So I need to. I booted it back up and just said, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna like get my feet wet, get back into it, do side quests to ease myself to that combat system because that shit is kind of complicated. You get to a certain point where you can sort of automate, automate the things that the characters do because it's not a turn-based RPG. You can kind of just set your characters and just let them go if you want to play that way and press a bunch of buttons. I don't know what the fuck they do, but I went back into it and I've been easing myself into it. And you expect another thread if you follow me on Twitter. I have like a 50 tweet thread of my playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and my last one of it was like a screen cap from chapter 5 saying like, holy shit, I have a lot of feelings. And I'm gonna do it all over again. I'm gonna carry on, and trust me, I will finish it this year. It will be the impetus for this is because the Future Redeemed DLC came out last month or a couple weeks ago, and a bunch of my friends on Discord have been talking about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to mute y'all for this one. Don't say anything because I know that they want to talk about it, but I'm just like, I know my friends at Axe of the Blood God want to do a spoiler cast. I know Jake wants to do a spoiler cast still, but I need to get back to it. And everything I've heard about the future Redeemed DLC, everyone's just like, yo, this shit is amazing. This is Game of the Year quality stuff, compact into like a 20 or 30 hour RPG. So the idea of a condensed Xenoblade story is extremely attractive to me, and I want to get to it. And I haven't finished 1. I barely played 2, so I don't know if it's going to hit as hard, because the whole point of that DLC is that they all loop together along with 3 in some weird and wacky ways. But I am. So that's one of the reasons why I was hesitant to jump into Tears of the Kingdom now.
Yeah.
Is because I need to do myself a
Redeem
favor.
yourself.
I need to, the future needs to be redeemed. My own future needs to be redeemed. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3, man. Like, and not to get too like over emotional or overreactive about it, but the themes of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 are heavy to me in particular. So like knowing when your time's up, how to deal with the idea of like death and health and surviving and shit like that. It's just a lot for me. Sometimes I'm not necessarily in the right headspace, sort of like what we were talking about earlier. But in this regard, it's like I don't know if I want to overwhelm myself emotionally quite yet, because it's But I did a couple quests. I'm like going back to it because I've played a bunch of RPGs since then, and when I did some of the hero quests, which are these bespoke side quests that give you more about characters in particular. And just the cutscenes, rewatching some of those, or seeing those cutscenes again, in the style in which characters talk to each other dialogue-wise, this, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is levels above most other games. Like, I'm gonna say that shit straight up. Like, the natural way that they talk to each other, the mannerisms, it just flows like they're having human conversations, which is something I kind of wish, like, Octopath Traveler 2 had a little bit more of. But Xenoblade is extremely well written, well voiced, and just paced in such a natural way. But still impressive, man. I'm 75 hours, 80 hours at this point. This will be another 80 hours, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my life's gonna be for the foreseeable future.
It's another game that really squeezes a lot of power out of the Switch, despite it not being that powerful anymore.
Yeah, and I talked about finishing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a couple weeks ago when I was on, and the comparison was like fucking night and day, dude. And like thinking about Tears of the Kingdom and how impressive it is to like, hey, here's Breath of the Wild. Also, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the sky that you can explore and all that, and how seamless. Even though we were talking about like the frame rate issues and the performance issues, there's still impressive that thing can even exist on the Switch. And playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, like everything, that world is still very, very beautiful. Yeah. But yeah, that's you know what I'm going to be up to for the next couple weeks. But yeah, there's also something. Oh, Honkai Star Rail. I don't have anything new to say. If you want to hear my thoughts about Honkai Star Rail and all of the hot anime boys and anime girls that I have pulled. I'm a honky. You know what I'm saying? I'm say it straight up. I'm a honky.
Wow.
That's what we call Honkai Star Rail players. Relax. Honkies. Yeah, we out here. Nothing necessarily new to say compared to what I did last week, but I've just been playing a shit ton more of that. Cool game. Great game.
Lucy?
I've been playing Humanity from, is it THA? And published by Enhance, who also published Tetris Effect. So it is that really cool game. I think it was in the February showcase, the PlayStation one. It's also got a PSVR 2 integration. I haven't finished it. I'm only like a couple hours in or so, but like it's a really cool puzzle game that is most similar, I guess, in comparison's sake to Lemmings. It's just hundreds of people, and you are a dog, and you are leading these people into the light.
Oh,
and it's really great. Like, because as well, the thing that gets me is that in Lemmings, you know, say there are 30 lemmings, you have to save 25 of them to beat the level. With Humanity, you have to lead them through you have to make the pathways to lead them through the levels. But if they fall off, it's fine. And they kind of encourage you to experiment. And so the only ones that you have to save are goldies, which are kind of like the big, tall gold people in the levels. And there's usually one or two. And I don't know, it's just like a really simple to start, but gets increasingly complex, really beautiful music, really cool vibes. I was talking about it on FPS, and I said it's a very cool vibes-based game.
Yeah.
And genuinely, like, I'm not that far enough in. There's a lot of user-created content, like there's a map editor and all that stuff. I don't have PSVR 2 because I get motion sick.
How would that work in VR?
I don't know. I assume, well, because you kind of look down on the levels and you can zoom in and out. So I wonder if it's more like an Astrobot rescue mission type thing, where you're kind of like looking down.
3D perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
I feel like a god.
Yeah. And then
But you're like a little dog,
You're
right?
playing this dog, and you
Dog god.
Well, dog is God backwards, so.
Yo, open your third eye. You know what I'm
makes
saying?
you think.
You know what I'm
But no,
saying?
it's great, and it's coming to PS Plus. So I guess like if you have that, I would definitely. I'd recommend buying it, but like I'd also just if you have PS Plus, give it a go.
Did you ever play Echo Chrome?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a good game.
Similar type of, well, I mean, it's not similar concept, but I mean, the MC Escher, like leading manipulating the way the environment looks to lead an automated, like, figure or character
Ooh, okay. What's it
to
called
like a
again?
goal. Echo Chrome.
yeah,
There's
so-
two of them.
PS Vita?
That was, I think it
PSP.
was originally a PSP game, but I played on PS3.
Yeah, it came
way
out
back
on
in the day.
PS3.
It was like black and white,
yeah,
right?
it was black and white.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
Echo
good game.
Chrome.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, Japan Studio.
It's very hard to
Game
find
House,
now
yeah.
or access now. I don't know if it's on. I don't think it's on PlayStation.
I think it might
Is
be on
it
PSN.
on?
It's on PlayStation Store, I think.
That'd be a
Or
great
maybe
mobile
if it's on
mobile
the,
game
Oh, yeah.
if they were to
maybe
like port
on
that to
mobile.
phones.
Oh yeah, Echo Chrome. It's on PS4, PS5 now.
Echo Chrome is
sick.
beautiful. Wonderful music. Very
Oh,
like
no.
chill.
Just kidding.
jazz.
It's not in the store
Ah,
anymore.
you hate to see it.
Not in the story anymore.
Find the game through illicit means, if you know what I'm saying. Echo Chrome is a classic. You know what I'm saying? Japan Studio. They also did Gravity Rush, right?
Yeah.
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 I want Gravity Rush 3.
Anything else, Missy?
I'm watching Queen Charlotte, the Bridgerton spinoff, which is it's fine. It kind of
Queen Charlotte.
Hey,
God
you said the
damn it.
Bridgerton?
yeah, there's a
spin-off?
Bridgerton
Oh.
spinoff all about the Queen, and like it kind of does this Bridgerton thing where it's good. There's some like good romance, good chemistry, but then it'll just throw some like mad problematic shit in there. And I was talking about it with Andrew Goldfarb, and I was like,
I mean, it's about the British monarchy.
I was
isn't
about
it?
to say, yeah.
Is it problematic, like the show doesn't tackle the topic well, or
Yeah,
problematic as in like
I mean,
these characters are being problematic and that's kind of the point?
without going into too many details, there's like a character in there who is a young woman who is married to this old guy, and it was clearly like this kind of arranged marriage, and kind of makes light of the fact that she is stuck in that relationship and everything
Like,
that
oh, haha,
entails.
this is-
Yeah, and they make a joke
it?
of it, and it's like, ooh, I don't think I feel comfortable watching that. Like, I don't think that's necessarily something
Hey,
to joke
listen, the
about.
British monarchy.
Oh, well,
can get these
they're not in
hands.
they're not in the monarchy, but those characters. But anyway, it's like, and then in episode 4, it just takes such a turn that Andrew told me about it. And
Oh, is
he
this
was,
the villain?
Mate, he's the demon headmaster.
Oh,
I was watching it, and
no.
then it's just about Queen Charlotte and King George,
Charlotte.
and
Charlotte
then a character comes in who's
That's
basically just an evil guy, but he's like comic book evil. And I was just like, I don't really understand where this guy's coming in. So apparently episodes 4 and 5 not so good. 6 manages to redeem it a little bit. So maybe I'll finish that tonight, tomorrow, and then we'll see. But that's me. It's been a pretty low key week. I did a lot of socializing at the weekend, so
Damn.
Damn.
yeah.
Look at me. I've got
Showing
friends.
off. Tam, I was with you like 2.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Hang on, I was with you 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, I was with you all the time, except for the Friday night.
Yeah.
So shut up.
Oh, look at me, I've got friends, and you're one of them. I've been playing, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom. Good game.
Yeah.
I've been playing Resident Evil 4 Remake still, because
Nice.
as I explained, like
Still.
we went back to London when it
Yeah.
basically came out, so I kind of fell behind, I guess, or just didn't play very much. And then the other day, last weekend, I can't remember what day it was. It might have been Sunday, actually.
You're playing Tears of the
before-
Kingdom on Sunday.
Yeah, but that day before
During
we came over.
Succession Sunday.
Yeah, before we came over, it was like I woke up in the morning early and played like 7 hours
Hell yeah.
of Resident Evil.
Nice.
Like just in
Hell
a row.
yeah.
So I'm like in the final stretch of the game.
Yeah, where are you at?
That Salazar boss fight is ass.
Damn.
Everyone seems to have
The
trouble with
one-
it. I did not have a
The
problem
one
with
where
it.
he's
have
like
trouble.
swinging.
No,
I
I
didn't
had
have-
no,
I didn't have
I had
issues with
no
that.
problem with it at all.
I did not like that boss fight. there was something about it that just like really messed me up. I was like,
Did you have trouble with it, or did you just not like it?
I just did not like it.
Oh, okay.
Like I did have a little, like it took me a few tries,
Right.
but it was like really cheap. Where it was like,
Oh, the one hit kill.
yeah, one
pissed
hit
me
kills,
off. Yeah.
and it'll be like, oh, you're hiding behind a pillar, and then some of that weird ink shit that he's firing at you
Yeah.
would get through somehow. And I was like, I'm hiding behind the pillar. I just
Yeah.
blocked a shit ton of it, and now one like splash of it gets through. And also like he's very far away,
Yeah.
and the way you do damage is hit like a small part of him in the middle.
His head.
So yeah, so it's just like. It's
Did
one
you
of
bring a
those-
golden egg with you?
Huh?
Did you bring a golden egg with
No,
you?
no, no. I did it with a pistol.
Do you know about the golden egg trick?
No, what's the golden?
You can throw a golden egg at him, and then you just shoot him like twice, and he dies.
Oh, sick.
What?
Yes.
I'm not doing that.
Damn.
That's cheating.
I also shot him with a handgun.
Yeah, I did handgun.
Handgun and assault rifle.
It was fun. I used the rifle, which is fun.
Right.
I like the rifle a lot. I use that for everything because it's just like one shot
Yeah.
headshots and it just rips
One
everyone
Yeah,
apart.
yeah,
yeah.
And
One
when they
kill.
mutate, if you shoot them in the right spot, it kills them instantly as well.
I'm curious what you think of the last section of the game, because it's probably the most like dramatically different.
Yeah, so you go away to like the offshore kind of area. Right?
Yeah, the island, yeah.
The island, yeah. So that's where I just got to.
Cool. Yeah. I like the way they changed it up in the
Yeah,
remake.
I'm
I think
excited to do
it's
that.
a lot of fun.